G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome back to War Thunder Ground Forces. And I did say that I would take a look at Italian tanks as soon as I could get my hands on them. And today we're starting up with the 105/25 M43 GC or gun carrier Lioncello. I think I've pronounced that correctly. Anyways, it's rank 3, battle rating 3.3, and it is one of the new premiums that has been added to War Thunder for the Italian tree. So, I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. Generally, the way I would do a first impressions video for a tank is I would play, 15 or maybe 20 battles in the tank. I would pick the best battle out of the 20, and then I would give you a post-commentary talking about the tank and its various features. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. What I'm actually going to do is aim for 20 to 30 matches in total, and I'm going to just snip highlights out of a series to put it together. I figure that'll keep the action up a little bit more and make it a little bit more entertaining. And as I play through, I'm going to do my best to express my thoughts on the tank, and we'll come to a conclusion at the end. So, yeah, this should be fun. Anyways, this is my first drive out in this tank. And we're going to take the corner up here. And just looking at the map, there should be somebody... Yeah, there we go. Right on the corner, just there. I'm a little nervous about driving around. This thing hasn't got a lot of armor on the front of it. Anyways, first things first, let's talk about the gun, because the gun is the interesting part of this particular machine. 105mm main gun. You only get two ammunition types. You get APC and you get heat. Neither of which are particularly impressive. He doesn't see me. He's focused down the end of the street. Oh, he spotted me right in the last second, but we got him. Seem to be clear down the alleyway. I'm pretty sure we've got something coming down here at the moment. Yeah, so there's that's definitely a cannon shot over there. You'll keep my rear covered. If you disappear off the map, I know somebody's behind me. There we go. What the hell is that? I'm not entirely sure what that is. I want to make sure it comes around the corner first before I blast it. I don't want to drive around to it. What? It's one of those tiny little tank destroyers, I think. Come on, anytime. Oh shit! What the hell was that? You just no. Look at the size of it. Come on, reload. Reload. Ah, damn. Definitely gonna need more matches in this thing. I'm really concerned about the armor, but we've been bouncing shots okay so far. And the gun hasn't failed me. Although I'm not fond of the penetration. And yep, there is one there. It's one of those little AA cars. I have no idea what they're called, but anyways, that's him dealt with. But yeah, and 90mm of penetration at 10 meters. This is not a fantastic amount of pen. But it seems to be going through everything okay. Although, to be fair, the AAA car has overall armor. Oh, hello there. Instant bounce, 105mm gun, and we can't get through the side there, although that is fairly heavily angled as well. I don't think it's gonna matter. Yeah, it's dead now, I think. Yeah, definitely dead. Definitely dead. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure the heat would have been able to get through the sides then anyway, even if that tank had still been alive. Heat as a general rule isn't particularly fond of angles. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, the major problem with the main gun is the velocity. The maximum velocity on this thing is around 500 meters per second, so the gun appears to be a medium to length to long length barrel. So you would expect a fairly high velocity shell. But you're actually getting something that's very close to howitzer speeds for this. You're essentially got a long-barreled 105mm howitzer. Italia, mamma mia, we is home! Oh, I'm going to get so punished in the comment section for that. Alright. Through here. Lag joke then, and another one, but it's alright, we're through, and through here. Yeah. We'll hide in here and we'll take all our shots out. Rather than that already. Just knock over the fences. Oh, we penned, but not a kill shot. Not a kill shot. Come on, reload. Reload, I got a perfect shot here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. 2 shots in. Ooh, hello, hello, hello there. We got heat loaded, we got to wait for you to roll forward. Don't want to shoot for that grate. The grate will detonate the heat. Come on. About there. And into the tracks. Slightly too high. Looks like they're down. We got another. Yep, we have another one. Oh, it's Calliope. Where did you go? And you're dead, so that's an assist as well. Now, there you are. That one went through. .105mm heat shell. Does seem a little overkill for an M3, maybe. Looks like we've got some units moving up here, so I think we've managed to clear this circle. Where is he? I saw him over here. It's clear. Should be just over there. Past the bush. No one. I'm sure this KV was over here. Ow! Failure to penetrate the Sherman with heat. That actually sounded like it bounced then. Failed to penetrate the Sherman with heat, but it went straight through us. Well, there's an example of the problem of the armor on this tank. It's only 75 mils at the front. It's real easy to get through. Alright, so I didn't get to the 30 matches I intended. I only got to about 22 matches in total in the tank, but at this point I'm pretty confident with the machine. It's not a good machine. So well, let's start with its first major flaw, the gun. It's a 105. Now, on paper this should be an incredibly powerful weapon at battle rating 3.3, but it's not. The first shell is APC. It's a 16 kilogram shell. It's got a 500 meter a second velocity, which isn't great. It's only got 90 millimeters of penetration at 10 meters. Now it does hold its penetration relatively well. It's still 80 millimeters of penetration at 500 meters, but it does have a fairly high tendency to bounce anytime you engage a target outside of around 200 to 250 meters. It's not particularly accurate. It's hard to hit the weak spots on enemy tanks, and you do need to hit them because the penetration is relatively low, especially at this battle rating. I mean, by comparison, the 75mm gun on the 3.3 German Panzer IV The default shell has 135mm of penetration, which is even more than the heat shell of the 105 here, which only has 120mm of penetration. And even at 120, the heat shell isn't horrible. If you can get a nice side flat shot at the enemy tank, it's actually pretty dangerous, but unless you get that nice flat shot, it comes with all the drawbacks of being a heat shell. It has a high tendency to bounce against angles and is generally not wonderful. Now, the overall poor gun performance could be counteracted if the armor of the tank was pretty good, but it's not either. Like, for example, the front armor. The front armor on this thing, 75mm thick and flat as a tack, straight across the front of the tank. Now, you've got the corner pieces on it. You could get away with the flat armor at the front if you could angle it. The problem is, if you angle it, you present these corner pieces that are folded in, which are only 45mm thick and lead straight to the crew compartment, and because all of the crew are essentially sitting on top of one another, any shell penetration into the main crew compartment will kill all the crew and one-shot the tank. Because you're at 3.3 and basically constantly dealing with 4.3 battle rating tanks, I actually might get killed here. Hey! Constantly having to deal with 4.3 battle rating tanks, these things have no problems getting through 75mm of armor. And if you angle, they're going to definitely have no problem getting through 45mm of armor, and they definitely have guns that are accurate enough to be able to punch through those corner panels. So, they'll shoot you in the front and you'll die. You angle, they'll shoot you in the corner, they will die. And then, to make matters worse, the gun handling itself. Now, it's a 105 essentially in a Italian-made Stug chassis. It's a big gun, and it's very slow to respond. I'm sure you've seen in some of the little clips that I've put up over the course of this video, if I've edited it together as I intended at least, that the gun, the tank rocks a lot when you're pulling up to a target. And the gun is very slow to get on target. And you would think, oh, I must be playing with a low crew skill crew. You know, I haven't got an experienced crew, especially since Italian tanks are new. But I've had the P40 and so on for quite some time, and actually played quite a few battles in them. I've also thrown some gold at my primary crew for each nation to make sure they're maxed out for testing purposes. This is pretty close to a maxed out crew. The gun is just very slow to respond on target. It's very hard to aim. It takes anywhere up to 4 seconds between stopping and actually having the gun stabilize enough to take a shot. And you've got to be within 200 meters of the target. Ouch. Well, I'm pretty sure that's me knackered. Yep, the Panzer next to me has been taken out, so the next shot's going to take me out. And there we go. And what actually killed me here? Crew knocked out. Yeah, this is the most common thing. I would say 95% of the deaths that I've had in this tank so far, which is almost one every single battle that I've taken it out, and survivability is that poor, has been due to crew death. So, it looks like a Stug. And for the most part, it plays like a Stug. But, it's worse than a Stug in pretty much every single way. The worst part about it, without a doubt, is that the gun only has the option of APC and heat. Now, if it had a HE shell, you could use this thing as a 105mm dirt gun. And in that respect, it probably actually wouldn't be a bad tank. That would actually solve a lot of its problems, but it has no HE shell, so you can't do that. And the shells you've got are not very good. And the tank itself is pretty poor as well. So overall, as a premium, I can't recommend this one for anyone. If you're looking for a 3.3 premium, the P40 is the better vehicle. Despite having a smaller gun and theoretically lower penetration, I tend to find its survivability is higher, and I tend to find it's more reliable in its shots in actually penetrating what it faces. It tends to perform better in every battle it goes into. So anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. Sorry to anybody who was sort of hoping this one to be good. I was sort of hoping it would be as well. A 105mm dirt gun on what is essentially an Italian Stug. I had high hopes for this one, but at this point I'm 22 or 23 battles into it, and it is just not a great tank. It doesn't seem to matter what situation I put this thing into. It's kind of trash. Anyways, until next time, remember to click that like button, share and subscribe if you would like to see more, and as always, drive smart, drive safe, and I'll catch you on the battlefield.